Hey all and welcome to Geek Freaks, I am Frank, and today I'm sitting down with someone who's basically become a recurring character on this show in the best way. Alan Dunford is back to tell us about his new comic book, and we're going to be discussing the comic book industry as a whole in its current state. Alan's got a new book on the way, but this time we're switching up the format a little bit. Instead of doing the usual play-by-play, we're going to be going topic-based instead. I want to talk about what makes a character actually stick with readers, what collaboration really looks like behind the scenes, and what it's like creating a comic book in the indie space right now when everything is loud and everyone is fighting for attention. So let's not wait anymore. Let's get right into it. We're gonna be talking with Alan once again. Here we go.
Hey, Frank, dude, it is so glad to be good here.
And that's our second start.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're keeping that one. I like that.
Yeah.
But no, it is so great to be here. I love talking to you, man. You know that, and yeah.
I know you've been busy. You're working on multiple comic books at the time, and you have a couple good ones coming up. Can you kind of tell us what's going on right now in your world?
Yeah, dude, aside from just work and life and everything, man, doing a lot of comic book stuff, which is great. And I haven't really been doing a lot of my own stuff lately. So I've been doing like a lot of contract work or like work for hire and everything, which has been really cool. But starting to like get back into some of the other stuff, and Kit Wallace and I, Frank, I got a chance to send you some of the projects that we've been doing. Kit and I are actually working on our own little indie publishing house, which is just so awesome, man. Yeah, we bonded really well whenever we first started doing this whole comic book thing, and then yeah, man, one thing led to another, and then now we decided, hey, let's just go ahead and just put some of our crazy ideas together, and then make it our own little imprint.
Yeah, how is that going, starting your own publishing house?
It's as of right now, it's cool because there's only like two of us, so
Yeah.
like you don't really have a lot you got to worry about, we just ran our first book, and this was Kit's creation called Cokehead. Let that sink in. And then
It's very much, by the way, just to throw that out there before we even get into that one, it's very much Kit's book. Like when you're reading that, you're like, oh, Kit had fun with this.
Yes. Yeah, it was absolutely incredible, man. And I just helped build the Kickstarter, put some of the stuff together, and it was just so much fun. But then the next book we're doing is Mostly Dead, and Mostly Dead was actually the first book that we did together, and we worked on it. God, it felt like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now, and now we're finally like bringing it to life. No pun intended. But I think that it's going to be such a special thing too. And then we got another book called Small Bites, and then Kit already has another book completed called Hex Gal, and we're going to throw that on the Mostly Dead campaign. It's just a lot of fun stuff, man. And then yeah, I mean, we'll get into other stuff later. I just don't want to throw everything out there at one time. But yeah, dude, it's crazy.
And then what's the goal with Comic Soup? Like, where do you want to see it go from here?
I don't know. I don't want to I don't want to plan the fun out of it.
Okay, that's fair.
Because this thing started real organic, and it was one of those, I just want to kind of keep it that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. That does. So we have 3 books that we're going to be talking about. We'll talk about a couple more as we get to the end here. But when you're introducing so many new characters into the ethos, how do you try to make them stick? What comes to your mind is like, this character is going to work well. The audience is going to bond with this character.
I think that again, it's the whole planning the fun out of it, right? We try to take a very jazz approach to it. So like when we come together, we of course we're building the story first, and then we intertwine the characters as everything progresses. Because and I use Kit as a huge influence for whenever we do go to start like writing and everything, because Kit will design something on a cover. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't even in the story, but now I want to put it in there because now it makes sense for it and everything. And to just kind of use him as a little bit of as an influence for some of the stuff too. The other thing too with it is we want to write the characters again so the way they make sense with the story. Because we're all about stuff coming out of left field, but I want stuff to come out of left field that's in the same ballpark.
Yeah,
as what
That's
our
fair.
world is and what we're building.
Mhm. When you talk about somebody like Cockhead, who's, I mean, just violence first.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
also part chicken, but I think violence first is still the first one I want to go with.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely.
when starting with a character like that, are you like plot is something I'm worried about first? Or are you wanting to add in the flaws, start to
Okay.
build up like this John Wick-esque character?
So this is going to be I promise I'm not trying to avoid the question.
Okay,
But Cockhead was one of those things where Kit just came to me and was like, "Look at what I have." And it just
I
showed it
see.
to me. I didn't ask any questions. I was like, "This is amazing. I don't care how it
Yeah.
got here. I don't even want to know how it got here. Let's just we're just going to keep it as is. I'm just going to take this
I
thing
have
at
a
face
feeling this is a
value."
nightmare that Kid had one time
I
when
know.
he woke up in a dead
Yeah,
sweat and just a cold sweat and like jotted it
yeah.
down real fast.
Yeah, it's like yeah, and the just the crazy thing is just how well everything works and how crazy the whole thing is. Um,
Yeah.
and it's one of the it's just fun, right? Like,
Hmm.
and I think that was something that Kit and I we really wanted to try to hammer in was just let's just have fun. Let's make everything just crazy, wacky, and then still try to have some heart to it where we want to, right? Like because Cockhead's a real it doesn't slow down, right? Like the whole
No.
thing, it's yeah, it's like a 28-page panic attack. And it's it's
Yeah.
awesome.
It does
But then
feel
we
anxiety inducing, especially like the
yeah.
first, I want to say 4 pages. It's all fight scene.
Yeah.
And like, you're like, God damn, somebody have a speech bubble. I'm
Yeah.
starting to get like a little worried here.
Yeah, so then but then like but I guess that's like the cool part about it too then is because then we get something like Small Bites and something like Mostly Dead
Yeah.
where yeah, we are going to have like these fun and crazy moments, but it's a little bit more of like a character study in
Hmm.
how these people are handling their situation around them and stuff.
Yeah. With Small Bites, and you have these kids that are friends that, it was really surprised me that they stay friends. I don't want to necessarily spoil the ending there, but they stay friends after a big dramatic change. Uh,
Mhm.
uh, how does that differ from writing characters like Hocus Pocus and things like that? What are you
Yeah.
pulling when you're writing for like kids?
So I and I'm speaking for Kit here. Whenever I say this too, I feel like mine and Kit's like real like first love with all this stuff is like young adult literature, right? Because
Okay.
it's just it's so much fun and some of the stuff that we talk about, like stuff that we both like and our interests and stuff are all like like cartoons and like the young adult driven stuff. And it's just kind of cool to see that. And like whenever you're working on these types of characters, I think for me anyway, I get to draw from I want to make the story that I wanted to read whenever I was young. Or I wanted to see this type of character growing up, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm drawing from my influences growing up and like, how would I have handled this? How would my crazy group of friends reacted to something like this? And I'm going to talk about Small Bites here. So Small Bites, Frank, you got to read the first 9 pages of issue 1.
Hmm.
Um, and it's about a girl that gets bit by a werewolf, and the whole plot of the thing is her and her friends now are trying to turn her back.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just the journey with that because we really wanted to pull from like Goonies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, but we want it to be fun. And the other thing too is, I took kind of some influence from this from the new Spider-Man MCU reboot whenever they first did that and introduced Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Um, we didn't give an origin for Spider-Man because everyone knows Spider-Man's origin story, right? And that was kind of what happened with Small Bites is, this girl gets bit by a werewolf and then she becomes a werewolf. And it's like everyone's seen that before. Like we get to see the awkward like, oh no, she's starting to slowly turn. Things are going
Right.
crazy and stuff like that, which, all that's well and good, but like when Kit and I we were talking about it, it's like I just want to get to the story, right? Like
Yeah.
I didn't really want to drag our feet too much. Yeah, is there a case for it? Absolutely. But I just really wanted to just I did oh, I guess I was too afraid to kind of lose some people because I didn't want to tell the same werewolf story that's been told before, especially like with the coming into it and everything. So that's kind of
Yeah.
why we decided, she gets bit by a wolf and then we flash forward 1 month. And then her
Right. That
friends are
helped a
finding
bunch.
out about it and stuff. And we really wanted it to make it work that way.
Which made sense for like the lunar cycle too. Is like, oh, it's all of a
Mhm.
sudden, you're back on the other side of the lunar cycle. One of the
Mhm.
things I think that stands out with that book, and that leans into your side of things, um,
Mhm.
is the so matter of fact that she got bit, and it was like a matter of fact thing for her. It wasn't like a big
Mhm.
dramatic thing. It was like, yeah, I got bit. I think it was a dog, and
Yeah.
suddenly it was like, let's move on and let's get into this. So
Yeah.
you feel kind of that rapid, and also kind of tells you like, oh, this girl's the most mature person in the room for sure,
Yeah.
and it's a good person to get bit. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And then again, I really wanted to take that because I like the idea of just strong characters,
Hmm.
overcoming obstacles. And that's kind of something too that we took with Mostly Dead. Um, Again, Mostly Dead is definitely a passion project, because Mostly Dead started off, um, just a Kit wanted to kind of tell like a fun, spooky story. And
Yeah,
then it just went this way because I have a huge love for the Evil Dead, so of course we have a Necronomicon in it.
of course. Yeah,
um,
they could bring back
and
parents.
so yeah, dude, 100%. Okay, so Mostly Dead follows the story of this little boy named Nate whose parents die
Mhm.
in a car wreck whenever he's very, very young. And
Yeah,
what he discovers, and I'm giving a little bit of away because this is all in issue one. So Frank got a chance to read the first 10-ish pages. I can't remember how many, 8 to 10 pages. So Nate ends up in an orphanage, and he's a troubled youth. He doesn't pay
yeah.
attention and stuff like that. And again, it was one of those matter of fact things, right? Like we wanted to kind of speed to it to get to the story of it. Like we know he's got this tragic upbringing and everything. So it's like, what's he going to do about it, right? So he finds a Necronomicon in the basement of the orphanage that he lives in. Um, and while reading it, he finds out that he can bring his parents back with it because uh, whenever he goes through it, he finds out that his parents, you can bring someone back if they're mostly dead. And what mostly dead means is that they're still clinging on to something back here on Earth. So
Yeah.
he knows that his parents want to see him again. So he's going to use this book to try to bring them back to life.
When you're creating a new character like this, like Nate, uh, how much are you pulling from other outside sources as your inspiration? Like, you're getting kind of this like
Mhm.
Wednesday Addams Family vibe from him,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of Harry Potter with with the school and orphanage setting.
Yep.
How much are you pulling from those sources?
Oh, dude, that's the thing, right? I'm sure it's all latent, right? So like I'm writing this
Sure.
stuff and not even really thinking about it. Like the only thing, of course, that like really stands out is like anytime you do like a Necronomicon, right? And we even put a face on
Yeah.
it because why not,
Why not?
right?
Yeah. It's like a
Um,
oozy face. It looks great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was one of those like why not situations, right? Um, but I definitely know that everything that I've ever media I've ever watched, anything I've ever gone through personally, like good or bad, like that's definitely influencing this stuff. And that's the
Yeah.
thing I love about writing is that you can pull from your influences and really try to make something unique from the stuff that shaped all of us. And that goes back to the young adult stuff like Harry Potter, right?
Hmm.
Harry Potter, books 1, 2, and argument 3, started off real young adult, real fun, but then it ages with you and ages up with the
Oh
characters
yeah.
and stuff. And that's something that like I'm trying to keep in mind too with a lot of this stuff because as these stories progress, our characters are going to mature. They are going to pull from their past influences as well from stuff that's happened in previous issues. So I think that like that's a long-winded way to say, yeah, Frank, 100%, dude. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's the
yeah,
thing is, I mean, of course you're gonna be influenced by the things around you. We're all nostalgia beings around here, and
mhm.
so what are you
Yeah. Look
adding
at
to
you,
it is
pop
the
figures
question, right?
behind you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
clearly
yeah,
my entire personality is like remember the 90s and 80s.
yeah.
And so I totally get that. It's just
Mhm,
I can imagine like I'll throw it off as a real side project thing, like when you're writing D&D campaigns and stuff like that.
mhm.
Like you're like, ooh, I really like this part from Gargoyles. Let me use this. Let me use that. Let me use this. But then I'm trying to influence it, and so I bet for somebody like you who's a writer, you're
Mhm.
constantly trying to balance like what you're learning from the outside, what things you like, and how you're supposed to like adapt that to your own work, and that's got to be pretty tricky for somebody like you.
Yeah, no, it 100% is too. And like, but then like sometimes like I completely lean into it, and obviously I'm speaking very far into the future here, but the script for Mostly Dead 2 has already been written, and there's just a blatant Star Wars reference in it, like quote for quote, because it was one of
Yeah.
those things like it was just too funny not to throw it in there, right?
Right. Right.
So yeah, it's little stuff like that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's fun for us so that when we catch these
Mhm.
little, like, almost Easter eggs or things like that, like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I know, I have a feeling
Mhm.
where this is going," and then that makes the twists even easier too because we fall into the tropes, and it's
Mhm.
good to break those tropes sometimes. That's fun stuff.
Yep.
Uh, you've worked with Kit Wallace on a lot of things, and now you're working on Comic Soup, with him.
Mhm.
Is there anybody else you're bringing in that you usually work with for these comic books?
Yeah, I mean, Brian, 100%.
Of course. Yeah.
Brian's my boy. And Carrie Salviejo, been working a lot
Mhm.
with her lately too. So, Carrie is an illustrator on another book that I work on called Lady of the Black Fan, and Carrie and I are actually working on a book together called Inkwell coming up. Carrie's absolutely incredible too. And she's actually doing the coloring for Mostly Dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
How is it
Carrie,
working with Carrie on the coloring? Like, what kind of input is Carrie adding to the
dude,
process?
so it's awesome to work with someone like Carrie and her caliber because
Mhm.
Carrie's an artist first before she's a colorist.
Yeah.
So, but whenever she goes into color, dude, she's adding so much stuff that I never thought like could have
Mhm.
gone into it. And she's, of course, we're all very open with each other, and we want each person to take liberties on whatever. So then Carrie will alter some of the stuff to or come out of the line art sometimes, and it's really cool to see that kind of stuff and that creative input that we all have together.
When you hand a script over to an artist, what is the kind of feedback you're hoping to withdraw from them?
That they have fun. That's it. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, if they have even just half as much fun drawing it as I did writing it, then I feel like we've done our job because I know that there's some pages where it's just dialogue, like you have to get it through, right? It's just a lot of talking
Yeah.
heads and stuff. And I feel bad for every artist that I've worked with on those, and I'm so sorry because I can't imagine what it's like to just draw different facial expressions like for a couple pages. Um, but yeah, like it's fun too because especially whenever you get comfortable. So like with Kit, Brian, Carrie, like I can just write like page I don't know 8 and 9. Fight scene breaks out, have fun because I don't want to
Yeah.
plan the fun out of that stuff too. I know that may make me come off sounding lazy a little bit, but like I feel like I just owe it to them sometimes to just be like, just go crazy, dude. I don't care what you do. Just make sure
Well,
this
and
person
sometimes you
doesn't
gotta
die,
know where their
right?
strengths are at. Maybe
Yeah,
their, visual way of telling stories is obviously gonna be
yeah,
better for a fight scene than you sitting there like,
100%.
then punch left. You know?
Yep, then punch left, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, man, like I said, it is such a great thing though to work with them. Yeah, I absolutely love it.
You started back in, I believe it was 2020, back in the pandemic, you and Will
Mhm.
with
Yeah,
Cocos with,
2021 was when it
2021.
was when our first book came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, since this time, obviously, you've kind of grown an empire here. What has changed in your collaboration process? What have you learned from collaborating with so many new people since then?
I mean, I haven't lost sight of what my goals are, right? And
That's
my
good.
my goals are to have fun. Like, and if this turns into a full-time career, man, that would be obviously that'd be the dream. But
Of course.
I'm realistic about where I stand right now with everything. And anytime I approach anybody new or work with anybody, like Ruben Mocho, whenever we worked on the Herald together, man, Ruben is such an awesome guy to work with. But I had to change my approach because Ruben likes to draw the book first. That's
Yes.
awesome. Like,
What an
hey,
interesting
go
book
for it.
that was too.
Yeah, dude. Well, and we've already finished issue 2.
Oh, great.
We're just yeah, issue 2's been done for like 6 months or something crazy.
It's gonna kill you to
Uh,
sit on these books for so long, man.
dude, it does because it's like and that's the thing too, right? It's like trying to find the time to do all this stuff,
Mhm.
to release these things and all this crap. So, but what I've learned is trust in your people, like because
Yeah.
I'm nothing without them, right? Like with comic books, like the name Alan Dunford doesn't sell a book, right? Like you open it
It
up
does in this house,
and
I'll just tell you that
oh
much.
well, thank you, I appreciate it. So, but like you open up a comic book and it's different from a novel because with a novel,
Mhm.
like you read the premise and maybe you do judge a book by its cover, right? But with comic books, like for me, where I've been guilty of it before, like I go into my local shop and I pick something up and the first thing I do is I kind of flip through it a little bit. Like, does the
Yeah.
art pull me in first? Right? Like, does the premise sound good? And does the art pull me in? And then, then I kind of go from there. But like, if I open up a book and the premise sounds great, but I think the art like just doesn't appeal to me, I probably won't pick it up. And I know that sounds terrible, but things are expensive too nowadays. So
Of
so I gotta,
course.
you gotta penny pinch and everything and make sure everything's good, dude. So, but yeah, I'm just just cautious about it. But yeah, like I said, like so with the artists I work with, these guys put in 110%, and I think that they check off that box of if I showed a test page without any dialogue on it, I feel like people will look at it and be like, wow, that looks really cool. I might actually pick this up now once they put bubbles on it.
The whole thing, though, honestly, like I do feel like the art is the reason you stop at the comic book stand, but to come back for issue 2 is going to be the writing. So
Yeah,
the
agreed.
collaboration is
100% agreed.
amazing.
That's a better way to word my word salad that I just said.
You're working with a couple of trusted artists at this point. Do you write differently depending on what artist you're going to be working with?
Absolutely. Because I feel like you need to I got to play for their strengths just as much as they play for
Yeah.
mine, right? Um, because the last thing that I want to do is especially pick an artist for a genre that I don't think that they would like or do well. Like I know, obviously, I know that a lot of these artists they don't want to turn down work and stuff like that, which is which is really noble of them. But I also want to make sure that like they're having a good time too.
Working so closely with your team is definitely a perk of the indie community, of the indie
Mhm.
comic book scene. Now that you've been in it now for 5 years, what are some of your favorite parts about being an indie comic creator?
Oh, collaboration, like no
Yeah.
question. Um, it's cool because all the people that I'm very fortunate enough to collaborate with, everyone is so open minded, and we get to go at our own pace, and we get to kind of stretch the barrier on what we can or can't do because we don't, the only person we're answering to is ourselves and our readers, right? But at this
Yeah.
point, I feel like our readers are kind of expecting the unexpected, so it's very fortunate for us to be able to have stuff like that.
Yeah, when we speak to people who work for the big two and then even
Mhm,
Image Comics and stuff like that, it does feel very much like communication's only done through email and it's just like
mhm.
adjust this, adjust that, but it's so factory based. And that's not what I
Right.
hear from you, Alan. And
Yeah.
I love that about it. It makes you more invested as a reader into what's coming next
Mhm.
out of Alan Dunford.
Well, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that again, you said it better than I could.
So what part of your comic book are you most proud of that's coming out of these three you got coming up, and then you have some more coming up? What is that you're hoping
Yeah.
people really walk away from with these?
I just hope that people just walk away with a sense of just I don't know, just fascination, right? Like I hope that they read this stuff and they're like, man, this had heart, this had that, or this, picking up Cockhead, right? Or this was
Yeah.
just absolutely so stupid, so crazy, so wild. I cannot wait for the next issue, right?
Yeah.
Like it's stuff like that. I just want people just to pick stuff up and just have a good time because I want to entertain. I feel like I am in like an entertainment medium, and I want people to walk away from that. Like, you can put your problems at the door, pick up something that we're doing, and just kind of turn your brain off for a little bit and just enjoy.
Yeah, yeah. And you, Alan, and your team, I know you're a favorite of here, everybody here at Geek Freaks and our sisters over at Nerd Initiative, and you're a big favorite of ours. But how do you stand out in a crowded market of indie comic creators? How are you making sure that you are being seen by new people?
Um, so obviously partnering with the right people, like partnering with like people like Bad Bug and stuff like that,
Yes,
and
great company.
getting with people to that um believe in what you're doing and make sure that you're not losing focus on your creative side. And then the other thing too is
Mhm.
like I just kind of keep my head down, right? Like I don't worry about what other people are doing because then I think if I do that, I think there's going to be whether I recognize it or not, there will be like a pseudo competitive nature to it, and that's not what this is about.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is about just is like when Will and I started this thing, this was just like two friends just getting together wanting to tell a story. And,
yeah.
I've since been writing a lot of stuff, without Will and everything, and it's just I haven't lost that ethos, right? Like, I
Hmm.
haven't lost that, let's just put your nose down, just tell a story and just kill it.
Yeah. But that competitive nature, it's got to be creeping up as you're expanding because you are a far bigger spot now than you were, 5 years ago. Do
Yes.
you feel like it's starting to get competitive, whether you like it or not?
I mean, maybe, but, like, I try not to. like for real, like I try not to really think about it, right? Because if I think about it too much, dude, I'll make myself sick and I'll worry. Because here's the thing, Frank. It's just you and me talking, right? No one else is listening.
Of course not.
Yeah, okay.
That's not the entire point.
Right. No, dude, I'm still thinking of comebacks to stuff I heard in the 3rd grade. Right. So if I still stress about this stuff, man, oh God, I can make a mountain out of an anthill. Like, someone doesn't message me back. I'm like, oh my God, they're mad at me. So I believe me, I try to not be competitive for my own mental stability.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's just it's interesting from our side when we love to look at indie creators, and we're getting to the point now where we have to be a little bit selective of which indie creators to follow, because there are a lot of them. And so when we see somebody like you who puts the polish and puts the effort in, it's a lot easier to invest back. And
thank you.
Well, that's the thing, is I just want to make sure that people are understanding that this isn't just another. I know that people see a lot of comic book creators and stuff like that on social medias. If you see them on Geek Freaks, it's because we trust them and we like them a lot. So it's good to kind of give some shine to that. The fact that it's a higher quality product,
Yeah, and that's, believe me, man, that's what we go for. We're trying to go for the polish.
You may not want to be competitive, but he's out competing everybody.
Well, thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. Oh God, I'm going to be sick.
I know you will be. Oh gosh. So let's touch on what's going on, so let's reiterate the names real quick. Cokehead, you guys got to check it out. I don't even need to push it too hard. I'm going to post the cover, and you guys are already going to know about it.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a little page for Geek Freaks in there. There's even Nerd Initiative too. Go check out our friends. And then you got Small Bites, which just Kit's drawing of the werewolf. I really like how it's kind of like almost like a lanky middle schooler / werewolf at the same time. I love the look. Mostly Dead is a Saturday morning cartoon that your parents won't let you watch. So the way that's drawn, I love it. I really like the part where it's like the different seasons in the orphanage. It's just so well done. Kit's great at what they do. So make sure you're checking out those. But what are the next books that we have in store out of you that we can look at distant future?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? Like I feel like a lot of stuff's kind of coming down. We may have something big coming up that I can't talk about just yet. But the other stuff that's coming out, we got Horus 4, Pocus 7, Lady of the Black Fan 3, Inkwell, Small Bites, Mostly Dead. Kit and I are working on another one together that we're not ready to share just yet. And I got a couple more projects coming up with Bad Bug as well.
God, those Bad Bug guys are good too. They put out a lot of stuff.
They do.
Yeah. Horus 7. Who would have thunkin', huh? That's wild.
It's crazy. Like
Horus, not Horus. Hocus Pocus 7. There we go.
Yeah, dude. It's nuts because I hate that like we haven't had a chance to go back to. Oh God, I also forgot about Beneath the Lighthouse. I'm watching that one next too. That one's dude. Brian and I have had like the first half of that book done forever ago, but then, dude, I forgot about this one. I Need Your Skin. I did that one too, and we got the next one of that one coming out. Dude, like
I'm
my
just
brain's
them all
mush.
down right now.
My brain's mush at this point. Like it's funny because like I don't realize how much like I do until I talk about it. I know that may sound like a real like eye rolly sentence to say, but yeah, it's true.
No, I feel you. Yeah, sometimes people like don't realize it, and then you say it out loud, or people tell you like, "Hey, you're doing a lot." It comes back.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, I am, aren't I?
I just work, so I don't know.
Dude, that's the thing, right? Like, I work 9 to 5 and everything, and dude, shoo, it's just.
How is that? Just as a personal level, you work a 9 to 5. You've got this, and you're father now. So how's that balancing working out for you?
Oh God, I'm tired. I'm tired.
I see you on video games here and there, but not as much as I probably did beforehand.
Yeah, I used to play I used to play Hearthstone like crazy, hit double legend and hit legend and standard and wild on Hearthstone, play Heroes of the Storm all the time. Now, the only time I ever play anything is if it's just some co-op stuff. I don't even play single player anymore. I just don't have time to invest in it, so it's like the baby goes down and it's just like, oh my God, I just need to just turn my brain off for a minute.
Damn the successful life.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's Frank, it's a lot. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired.
Oh man. Well, Alan, I want to make sure everybody knows, again, Cokehead, Small Bite, and Mostly Dead. We're going to have links to everything. The Mostly Dead campaign starts soon, so people jump in on this one.
Right.
When is the exact launch date for Mostly Dead? Do you know that one yet? Or
let me pull it up really quick. I honestly,
Okay.
I'd like to try to get it launched either the third week of March or the last week of March. Kit's currently in Japan right now. So any like, yeah, he's there. Kit always goes to Japan for a month, or well, 3 weeks every year. So there might be some extra stuff that I need before the campaign launches. So I didn't want to put anybody in a corner, because again, that's not what this is about.
So let me re-record my side of it then. All right. So again, make sure you guys are checking out Cokehead, Small Bites, and Mostly Dead. The campaign goes live right now today. That's when we're launching this episode. So you guys can go over there and join it. Alan, I mean, every time, man. Anytime you want to chit chat, you don't even have to have a comic book on. Which you always have a comic book about to come out.
Yeah, probably.
But anytime, you just come on.
Yeah, dude. No, again, Frank, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the whole Geek Freaks community, man. I always sing your guys' praises and try to throw as many people your way as I can too, that I feel like would really jive with everything you guys are doing.
I appreciate it, and same right back to you. You've been the Christmas. We do a holiday party here at Geek Freaks. And very often, Hocus Pocus, some different Alan Dunford comic books going about. Everybody's getting a copy. So it's often around here. All right, Alan. Well, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Make sure you guys are checking everything, getting everything in the description, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye. See ya.